Hello, today I'm going to be showcasing the 1.21.11 update, also known as Mounts of Mayhem. I'm going to be showing the main features of the update and some hidden features that you might not have realised when people are talking about, obviously, the bigger updates. So, if I go back to first person, I'm going to change my game mode to survival because I spent the whole day really building this since I got home from school. And so, I'm just going to eat some steak and my hunger's really low. But anyway, first we're going to come up to, as most of you probably know, or all of you even, know, the spear, which is probably the biggest part of the update. So, if you didn't know how to make the spear, you'd put a diamond, an iron ingot, gold ingot, stone, or cobblestone, and then wood even. You can't craft netherite like I used to, as you know you have to use a netherite upgrade template. But anyway, the main factors of the spear are that one of the biggest factors is that the sword can only reach 1 to 3.5 blocks. In fact, barely. Meanwhile, the spear, as you'll see if you land it on this block, can reach 1, 2, 3, 4.5 blocks. So it's got a block longer reach, which is great. And it feels quite odd actually. But in case you couldn't tell, I'm going to spawn another huskin just so I can show you that the spear can reach. There you go. The spear can reach, but the sword can't. In fact, if you step here, the sword still can't. You have to go 1, 2, 3 blocks. The spear really has a 5 block reach, but it's 4.5 they call it. So I'm just gonna set the time so that we don't get jumped by hundreds of mobs. But that's basically just a spear. Actually no, hold on, I completely forgot. So the spear can also be enchanted with lunge, which takes away hunger. So if you right click, you can charge it, as most of you will probably know. But if you left click and jump, you can dash miles forward. As you can see, if you look at my hunger bar, you'll notice that it's gone down, dramatically decreased, and that's because it lunge 3, which is the maximum you can enchant at lunge. This wrong spear. Maximum you can enchant lunge on a spear takes 1.5 hunger off, but obviously the saturation's not making it work now. There you go. So look, if you look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 7 bars of hunger. If I dash, now we've got 5.5. So that's not the best, really, I guess, for the spear. But if you have food on you, that should be fine. Another factor of the spear is that I'm gonna eat God now because I don't want to get baby ass to do it. But because, in case you were wondering, in case you have no idea, the spear, basically, if you right click it and run, it does, the more momentum you have or the faster you go, the more damage it does, as you can see. And although it has quite a long cooldown for the spear attack, as you can see, it still does really well against mobs if you time it right. And the lunge, if you can control it, is really, really good for this. Because if you right click it, then left click. Oh no, that doesn't work, does it? But I think if you dash, it should deal a lot more damage. I don't really know. But also, in case you're wondering, the lunge won't take away all your hunger. It'll only go down to 3 bars, unless you have like 3.5. Then it will just take away that last bit. But as you can see, the dash is really good for moving around. And so that's really just the end of the spear showcase. But it's good for defeating mobs, and if you hold it down, or hold down right click for computers, the faster you go, the the more damage you do. And as you can see, there's quite an animation really of just holding the spear. As you can see, it slowly begins to like drop, because you can only hold it for a certain amount of time before the spear eventually goes back up. Next, we will be moving on to, as you can see on the sign, the Nautilus. And so I think I had Nautiluses in here, but if I just go in and zombie Nautilus, you can see that this is a zombie Nautilus, as I just typed in chat. And the zombie Nautilus normally will have a drowned with a trident on it, but because I spawned it in, it won't. But as you can see, the zombie Nautilus is kind of like the Nautilus, but obviously the skin is like really dry, and there's lots of moss on the shell, and the shell is quite lifeless. And there's a special coral variant that you can find. I think it's 1 in 10 if you find it in a coral reef that can have a coral variant of the zombie Nautilus, which is quite a cool fact. And so these can wear every type of armor apart from leather. There's copper Nautilus armor, and iron Nautilus armor, gold Nautilus armor, diamond Nautilus armor, netherite Nautilus armor, and then you put a saddle on it, I'm pretty sure, to ride it. And so if I spawn in the Nautilus with /Nautilus, then you'll be able to see how much brighter and colourful it is compared to the zombie Nautilus. This doesn't have a special variant, unfortunately. It's just a Nautilus you find in every single ocean. You will not find this in rivers. So as you can see there's like a river. I don't know how to do like the zoom thing, but as you can see down there's a river, and the Nautilus will not be able to spawn there. So how you would tame it, in case you're wondering, or breed them even, is you get pufferfish, and as you can see the Nautilus and zombie Nautilus both come to it, and so you can feed them that, and then I'm pretty sure you can saddle it if you right click. You should have put the saddle on the Nautilus, there you go, and now you can ride it. And the best part about the Nautilus is the fact that not only is it really fast, as you can see, dashing around this enclosure, if you hold jump, it goes quite fast, and you can see my XP bar is kind of like a dash. So it's kind of like the horse, where if you hold the jump, it dashes faster. Unfortunately, the zombie Nautilus is not making it, but you can put, if you click E, you can go in your inventory like a horse, put on copper Nautilus armor, iron Nautilus armor, gold Nautilus armor, diamond Nautilus armor, and netherite Nautilus armor. The only way to keep a zombie Nautilus from not dying in the sunlight is by putting some armor on it. As you can see, the Nautilus is very slow on land, but it still functions on land. And in the top right corner of my screen, you'll be able to see the effect that the Nautilus is giving me. I can't show you right now because I'm on it, but it gives you, I'm pretty sure it's breath of the Nautilus or something like that, and that basically just gives you infinite underwater breathing, so it kind of lets you live underwater with the Nautilus. And as it's really fast, people have been saying that it can replace minecarts, because look how fast it goes compared to minecarts. And plus it's cheaper because of rails and everything. So that's the Nautilus. Now let's check out the zombie Nautilus. So if I just go spawn name /zombie Nautilus, you'll be able to see that I think the zombie Nautilus is a bit faster than the Nautilus. And so if you go on the zombie Nautilus, ride it, put on netherite armor, you can put on every single type of armor, but I just decided to put on netherite. I'm pretty sure now, yeah, you'll be able to see that it goes just a bit faster than the Nautilus, but still, any extra time wasted on travelling is not good. So if I jump out now, you'll be able to see that the zombie Nautilus can now survive instead of burning, and it gives you the same effect that the normal Nautilus gives you. So that's the showcase of the Nautilus and zombie Nautilus now. The zombie Nautilus, as I've said, will always spawn with a trident equipped drown, I guess you'd call it. And so you'd have to kill the drowned to get the Nautilus, or zombie Nautilus even. But that's the Nautilus really. And so next, we're going to be moving on to really interesting mob, Zombie Horse. They'll finally be able to spawn in Minecraft, in vanilla, with no cheats. As you can see, it's burning alive, which is not great. If I do /times night, you'll be able to see that will keep burning. But if I have another one, Oh, it stopped burning. But if you hold up mushrooms, they will be attracted to you, and you can feed them to it. That's not how you tame it though. You tame it by trying to ride it. You just spam click it. But they will spawn with a zombie rider with a spear, so it'll kind of be like jousting. I can't for some reason get the zombie horse to let me ride it. I don't know why. I've fed it all the mushrooms I can. And I'm pretty sure they can't breed, there is no baby version, although the Nautiluses can breed. There you go! And now if you click, so once you've tamed it, this is quite difficult to tame it. There you go, once you've tamed it, you can put on a saddle, you can put on some armor, and that is how you would ride your zombie horse. As you can see, it has the same jumping function as a horse, but in case you didn't know, the zombie horse is actually faster than a horse on average spawning rates, but if you breed them into like the super horse, I think they're called, then obviously they'll be better because they're just hybrids, really. So if you force breed them into super horses, then the zombie horse can't compete. But the zombie horse has a speed of 9.5 blocks to around 12 blocks, pretty sure, compared to the horse is a bit less. So, on average spawn rates. So if you see a zombie horse and you manage to kill the rider, it'd probably be better as an early game strategy to use a zombie horse if you manage to find a saddle, which is not very easy. That is the next mob, which I do not want to encounter yet. So I'm going to quickly go to a safe place, then do /time day. Then you'll be able to see that these mobs are not burning. As you can see, there's two new mobs that you can see. The camel husk and the parched. I will be moving on to these later, but I'm going to show you what you can use the zombie horse for now. So effectively, the whole point of the update is to make it so you can charge mobs with them. And as you can see, it's quite easy to kill them. Although if you do get hit, you can get knocked off the horse, which unfortunately happened to me. The parched is dead, but the what's it called, husk didn't, or the camel husk. If you can manage to kill the zombie and parched, you notice that you can actually ride the camel husk. Unfortunately, you need a saddle for it, which is on my zombie horse right now. But as you can see, actually, now that I think about it, with the diamond horse armor, now it's starting to burn because I've taken off the armor. But once I put it back on, it should stop burning eventually. I think I might have killed it, but there you go. See, it will stop burning in sunlight if you put armor on it, which is quite useful to know. So I'm gonna let this guy roam free. Normally he will spawn with normally it will spawn with a zombie rider with a spear, and you'd have to adjust it. I think I already said that, but I just wanted to recap on that. So, with that all said, the next mob, I'm going to put this back, but the next mob, I think I might need the saddle later, but the next mob is the parched. You might have seen it. I want to just be equipped because I don't really want to die whilst videoing. I already have a sword though. But it's a new mob. It's basically the husk, but it's basically a skeleton husk, sorry. As you can see, it shoots arrows of weakness at you, which is not how the husk works. As you can see, you still get the achievement for blocking the arrows, so it's not necessarily a different mob. It's basically just a desert version of the, I think it's called Stray, because it does arrows of weakness as well, or I think that does arrows of slowness. So be careful when you're fighting them, especially a camel husk, as they will be riding on it with a husk using a spear. So, as you can see, it drops arrow weakness, and it doesn't have any change to the drops. It will still have bones, which are wonderful, and you can use it to craft bone meal and more bone meal. But it still drops bones, so there's no different loot drop or loot table for the what's it called, parched. But anyway, that's enough. bones. But next, actually, you might find interesting, is horse armor. Because yes, told you I need a saddle. But yes, if you ride on a horse and tame it, which is not working for me, you can put horse armor on the horse. I don't have an apple with me for some reason. I had to put it in the chest when I was making that. By the way, whilst I'm trying to get the horse, this map is all made by me. I've not used anyone else's worlds or anything. I don't like to use other people's content unless it's for like add-ons or mods, because I like to make my own videos and content. So if I do /give command /MC apple 64, try to tame a horse now. I just spam it on the horse. Really likely. There you go, stopped at 30. So now I should be able to try and ride it, and it should like me sometime. But whilst I'm trying to get this to work, I just wanted to say a quick shout out. Thank you so much for 80 views in one day. In fact, it's like 5 hours of posting my short about my skin. That means a lot considering that I'm a new YouTuber. But this horse doesn't seem to like me. But anyway, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Leave in the comments anything you would like me to test, and I'll try my best. Obviously, I have a budget and I can't spend infinite amounts of money on this. But unfortunately, I can't seem to get the horse to like me. So that's that. I can't get the horse to like me. But I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But unfortunately, there's, as you can see here, the camel husk is the next one. Unfortunately, there's no camel husk armor. Well, there's no camel armor. So that will have to wait for the next update. But as you can see here, I've literally just gone it and raided on it. It doesn't burn in the sunlight like a what's it called? Zombie horse does, or a zombie nautilus, which is quite interesting, considering it's basically just a zombie version of the husk. And it works like a horse, and it works, actually, in fact, it just works like a normal camel. Normally, these will spawn in with riders on it. As I think I've already said, there will be a husk with a spear, most likely an iron spear, and a parched, which is, as I already showed you, the skeleton variant of, the desert variant of the skeleton, which shoots out as a weakness. So it'll be quite interesting to fight them. I think you've just seen me fight it, but anyway, so that will be quite an interesting fight, and it'll be difficult, definitely, because you've got 2 attackers. Unfortunately, you can't leash them until the riders are gone, so there's no use trying to flex that you have it, because it can't go in boats, it can't be leashed. I already tried that, because I tried to get naturally spawning camel husk in the pen here, but unfortunately for me and everyone who wants to flex without finding mobs, the camel husk has to only have the camel and not the husk, which is annoying. But I guess it makes sense because you can't leash 3 mobs. So it won't go in a boat, won't go in a leash, but it will still be in the game for you to play around with. The camel husk literally has no benefits compared to the average normal camel, has the same dash effect and works the same as a camel, even lies down. So there's no changes to that, there's no benefit of really getting a camel husk apart from just the flex of saying I killed the camel husk. So that's just really the camel husk in a nutshell. And so our final part, I really just put small bits in the sign. I've got prompts because I'm not big talk, but I've got small bits because there are some parts of the update you might not have realized have come out but actually have. For example, I don't have them because there are a lot of things, but one thing that has changed about the recent Minecraft is the mending, because as you might know, if you play PvP or if you play Minecraft Survival, you know that mending is a requirement for all of your good tools, otherwise you're just going to lose them easily. So you might put mending on armor, mending on tools, I don't know what you put them on, what you put it on, but mending books are quite useful. Now when you use XP for mending, as you know that's how mending works, you will get the you still get the mending, but when it bobs, like when it's kind of like bounces up and down when you use mending, that will no longer happen in the game, which is quite interesting. There are a lot of other changes, so you should really see other people's videos, but I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that I've given you enough information. If there's anything you want me to ever video on, or if there's anything you want to ask me about, then you can always just comment on one of my videos. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video, hope this has helped you understand the 1.21.11 Mounts of Mayhem update a bit better, and I hope you go and enjoy the update and have some fun killing the camel husk, obtaining the zombie horse, trying out the zombie nautilus and the nautilus, finding the zombie coral nautilus, and using the new spear mechanic, which is completely broken if you use Elytra, by the way. So if you need any further help, just type in, comment about it. I'll probably be able to get back to you. If not, then I'm really sorry. You can try to check out other videos, as you know, lots of content creators will probably be focusing on this kind of stuff, as it's a new Minecraft update. In fact, just before I go, I just wanted to mention the new Minecraft update system will be coming out next year, I'm pretty sure. And so, in the update, what will happen is, the numbering system will be changed from 1.21.11 to 21.1, 21.2, 21.3, 21.4. Most of you probably would have heard this by now because it's quite late for me to be saying this, but I thought I'd just add it as it's a new update, I guess, to the game. And so it will be changing it will be changing to that, and it will basically be the year, this drop number, so 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on the season. Drop 1 is the spring season, drop 2 summer, drop 3 autumn, drop 4 winter, sorry, not spring, and that'll be how it works. And then any point 1, point 2 will be bug fixes. So kind of like we had the copper golem, I guess you'd say, update, or the copper update. It had some bug fixes, so it went from 1.21.9 to 1.21.10, and that's why we have 1.21.11. So it kind of be like that, but with 26.1, 26.2, 26.3, and then 26.1.1, 26.2.1, and so on and so forth. So anyway then, I'll just leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing, liking, turning on notifications, all of that. And I hope you have a good rest of the week. See you next time for my next video. It's probably going to be about one of the servers I play. And I'll give you a hint. It might be about the Minecraft server that I've created. And I'll be giving you all the IP sometime soon. Bye.